গিরিবরধারী গোপীজন বল্লভ গিরিবরধারী যশোদানন্দন ব্রজজন রঞ্জন যশোদানন্দন ব্রজজন রঞ্জন যমুনা তীর বনচারী যমুনা তীর বনচারী জয় রাধা মাধব কুঞ্জ বিহারী জয় রাধা মাধব কুঞ্জ বিহারী হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে জয় রাধা গিরিধারী রাধে জয় জগন্নাথ জয় বলদেব জয় সুভদ্রা জয় গৌরনিতাই জয় গৌরনিতাই জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরি বল হরে কৃষ্ণ গুরুজি।
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Abhay Charandas Prabhu, you can read.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes. Harvey Kuhen, a visitor to Ananda Ashram, everyone got up early and went to the morning meditation. Dr. Mishra was dressed in a golden Indian style jacket, and his students were already deeply into it. When I entered the room, all the cushions were taken, so I picked up a spot in the back of the room where I could lean against the wall to facilitate my meditation. Seated at one side was an older Indian man in saffron cloth and wrapped in a pinkish wool blanket. He seemed to be muttering to himself, and I later discovered that he was praying. It was Swami Bhaktivedanta. His forehead was painted with a white V-shaped sign, and his eyes were half shut. He seemed very serene. Harvey tried, but he could not do the Raja Yoga. He was new to Ananda Ashram and had only come up for a weekend retreat. During his morning meditation, he found himself more attracted to the green mist above the lake outside the window than to the circle on the wall he was supposed to be meditating on. Harvey, I went to my room. The rain was increasing and beating against the windows. It was peaceful, and I was glad to be alone. I read for a while. Suddenly, I sensed someone standing in the doorway. Looking up, I saw it was the Swami. He was wrapped in his pink blanket like a shawl. "Can I come in?" he asked. I nodded yes, and he asked if he could sit in the chair in the corner. "What are you reading?" he smiled. "Kafka's Diaries," I replied, feeling a little embarrassed. "Oh," he said, and I put the book down. He asked what I was doing at the ashram. and if I was interested in yoga. What kind of yoga are you studying? I don't know much about it, I answered, but I think I would like to study Hatha yoga. This didn't impress him. There are better things than this, he explained. There are higher and more direct forms of yoga, bhakti yoga. In the is the highest, is the science of devotion to God. As he spoke, I got the empowering realization that he was right. He was speaking the truth. A creepy ecstatic sensation came over me that this man was my teacher. His words were so simple, and I kept looking at him all the weekend. He would sit so calm and dignified with warmth, and he asked me to visit me when he got back to the city. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna, all the devotees, thank you for joining us this morning. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is verse number 19 from the 24th chapter of Canto number 4. So Canto 4, 24th chapter, verse number 19. So it is Maitreya Uvacha Prachetasa Piturvakyam Sirasadaya Sadavaha Disham Pratichim Prayayus Tapasya Dhrita Chetasaha. Maitreya Uvacha Prachetasa Piturvakyam Sirasadaya Sadavaha Disham Pratichim Prayayus Tapasya Dritya Chetasaha. Maitreya Uvacha Prachetasa Piturvakyam Sirasadaya Sadavaha Disham Pratichim Prayayus Tapasya Dritya Chetasaha. Yes, anyone wants to try this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Maitra Uvacha Prachetasha Piturvakkam Shira Shadaya Shadava Disham Pratichim Prayusha Tapashi Adrita Chetasha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I am also trying.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Maitreya Uvacha Prachetasha Piturvakkam Shira Shadaya Shadavaha Disham Pratichim Prayush Tapashadrita Chetasha.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Maitreyo Uvacha Prachetashah Piturvakyam Shiroshadaya Sadhavah Disham Protichim Prayayush Tapasyadrita Chetasah. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, may I try, please?
Yes, Mataji.
Maitreya Vacha Prachetasah Piturvakyam Sirsadaya Sadhava Disham Prachitim Prayayus Tapasya Drita Chetasa. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I try?
Yes, Ashoka Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Maitre uvacha प्रचेतसः पितुर्वाक्यं शीर्षादाय साधवः दिशं प्रतीचिं प्रयुक्तपस्या दृक्चेतसः. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you. Yes, so thank you. So someone can read the translation, or word by word meaning, like synonyms.
I'll try, Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you. Synonym. Maitreya Uvacha. The great sage Maitreya continued to speak. Prachetasa, all the sons of King Prachina Barhi. Pitu, of the father. Vakyam, words. Shirasa, on the head. Adaya, accepting. Sadhava, all pious. Disham, direction. Pratichim, western. Prayuyu, prayayu, went away. Tapasi, in austerities. Adrata, accepting seriously. Chetasa, in the heart. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you. And we have the translation. Someone can read the translation as well.
Please.
Yes, Mataji.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The great sage Maitreya continued, my dear Vidur, because of their pious nature, all the sons of Prachina Bhari very seriously accepted the words of their father with heart and soul, and with these words on their heads, they went toward the west to execute their father's order. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. And the purport by Srila Prabhupada. So someone can read that as well.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In this verse, Sadhava means pious or well behaved, is very important, especially at the present moment. It is derived from the word sadhu. A perfect sadhu is one who is always engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prachinbari's sons are described as Sadhava because of their complete obedience to his father, their father. The father, king, and spiritual master are supposed to be representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as such, they have to be respected as the Supreme Lord. It is the duty of the father, the spiritual master, and the king to regulate their subordinates in such a way that they ultimately become fully unalloyed devotees of the Supreme Lord. That is the duty of the superiors, and it is the duty of the subordinates to obey the orders perfectly and in a disciplined way. The word Shirasha on their heads is also significant, for the Prachetas accepted the orders of their father and carried them on their heads, which means they accepted them in complete surrender. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. So, thank you all the devotees for for this morning's class once again. So we have Maitreya Muni speaking now, because last three verses we had. Who was speaking? Last three verses. It was questions of. It was Vidur speaking, and those were questions of Vidur.
Yeah.
So Vidur had asked Maitreya Muni about the meeting of the Prachetas and Lord Shiva. How the meeting happened, and why the meeting happened, and how Lord Shiva got pleased, and what Lord Shiva got instructed. And so he wanted to know all those, and he said also that it is very difficult for one to get association of Lord Shiva because he's so great. How did that meeting happen? And also that Lord Shiva is always engaged in the welfare activities of the people. He's always moving around for the benefit of the devotee. So those were the questions of Vidura. How can the meeting happen? And then now, Maitreya Muni actually starts speaking. He says, why, first in this verse, he says why the Prachetas went to perform austerities. So here, Maitreya Uvacha Prachetasa Piturvakyam. What was the cause? Why did they leave home? Piturvakyam means?
From the words of his father, their father.
Yeah, the words of their father. Prachetas, so Prachetas is not only one. How many of them are there?
10 to
10 of them. So we know that we have King Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj's son was Antardhan. Antardhan's son is Avirdhan. Avirdhan's son is Prachin Barhi. And Prachin Barhi's 10 sons are called
Prachetas.
Prachetas. So Prachetasas Pitur Vakyam. So Pitur, who's the Pita? Pituhu. The father is?
Daksha.
Yes. Yes. What's the name of the father?
Prachin Burhi?
Prachin Barhi, correct. Prachin Barhi Vakyam.
Oh,
So, yeah, Prachin Barhi. Prachin Barhi's words. So the sons Prachetas actually. And what did the father say? What was the Vakyam? What was the words? What were the words of the father?
To create progenis.
Yeah, to beget progeny. So to produce praja or children. So that was the Vakya. Those were the words of the father. And now Sirsadaya. So these 10 sons of Prachin Barhi, they took the words of the father in the, what did they do? Sira means?
Sira means head. They kept it on their head.
Yeah, they kept the words on their head. If you keep something on your head, that means you are taking them very, very
seriously.
Very, very seriously. Like we know that Prabhupada was given some very, very important instructions by the spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Goswami Maharaj. What did Prabhupada do with the instructions? He took the instructions on his
head.
On his head. So sometimes, we hear, and we hear from one side, and then it comes out from the
other side.
One ear you hear, and then it comes out from the other ear. It's not good hearing. And then sometimes you hear from the ears, and then it comes out from the mouth. You only speak, but you don't do anything. You have to take it on your head and keep it there. It's very important to take the instructions of the spiritual master or a father who is, devotee, or who wants hit for their children. We should take the instructions very seriously. As Prabhupada mentions, Prabhupada mentions the father, spiritual master, and the king. And the king, father, and they are all representatives of the Lord. Yeah, of course, we know that sometimes there are examples in the scriptures where like children did not follow their father. There are some examples in the scriptures. And who are those examples where father's words were not taken very seriously? Prahlad Maharaj, isn't it true?
Yes.
Prahlad Maharaj, we know that Prahlad Maharaj, his father was, he did not want him to worship Lord Vishnu. He said, I am the Supreme Lord. You should worship me, not the Lord. So he did not follow that. And so there are examples in the scriptures like that also. So one may not follow the father sometimes. But we can see there are a lot of examples also where good sons actually follow the father. And prachetas are examples of such children or such sons. And Sadhava, why did they take the instructions very seriously? Because they were, what
They
is
were
the meaning? Huh?
Sadhavas, they were devotees.
Yeah, they were devotees, the Sadhava, because we know that the Sadhava word Sadhava comes also and in the definition of a devotee. Titikshavah karunika surda sarva dehinam ajata shatrava sadhava santaha sadhava sadhu bhushanam. Sadhava comes there as well in canto number 3. Who's giving the definition of a sadhu or a devotee? It is Lord Kapil Bhagwan. It's a Lord Kapil. So Titikshava Karunika Surda Sarva Dehinam Ajata Satrava Shantaha Sadhavaha Sadhu Bhushanam. So sadhu means a very, Prabhupada writes, a pious person or a person who is who has who is a devotee. So sadhava. So they actually followed the father's vakyam or father's words because they were very, very pious sons. They took it seriously. Sirsadaya. Sirsa Adaya. So yes, they were sadhavas. So, and then we know that, they took it very, very seriously. There are so many other examples also of devotees who took the words of the father very, very seriously. Does anyone remember any of them? Any of the sons who are very, very well known for following the instructions of the father or taking the father's words very, very seriously?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Lord Ramachandra.
Very nice, Mataji. Very nice. Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra, we know he took the words of the father very seriously because father had given the boons, 2 boons to KK, and KK asked for those 2 boons. One was for Lord Ramachandra to go to the forest, and the next one was for the kingdom of to make Bharat the king of Ayodhya. So those were the 2 benedictions, 2 boons, and at an appropriate time she asked for those boons. Of course, not only going to the forest and coming back in just one day, but 14 years of exile for Lord Ramachandra. And we know that as soon as Lord Ramachandra came to know that that Kaikeyi had asked for these 2 boons from the father, and father is in so much of distress because the father did not want Lord Ramachandra to go to the forest. Straight away he accepted that and went to the forest and happily stayed there for 14 years. Yes, very nice. Lord Ramachandra is one of them who actually took the father's instruction very, very seriously. Any other that you can think of? Anyone?
Yayati Maharaj's son. Yayati Maharaj.
Yes, very nice, Prabhuji. Yeah. Posak Madhav, Prabhu, thank you. Yes. Yayati Maharaj's son. Who was the son who took the words of the father very seriously?
Puru, I think.
Pururua.
Yeah, Puru, yeah, Puru Maharaj. Puru actually who became king later on. So Puru Maharaj. And yes, he was, we know that there were not only one son, but there are how many sons of Yayati Maharaj?
5 sons.
Yeah, 5 sons. So 2 born from Devyani and 3 born from
Nishtha.
Shormishta.
Sharmishta.
Sarmishta. So the oldest was Yadu Maharaj, and the youngest was
Puru.
Puru. So Yadu and Puru, oldest and the youngest. But we know that no one accepted the father's old age, because we know that father was cursed to become old. Father Sukracharya, the father Yati Maharaj actually was cursed by Sukracharya to become old, and we know that he could exchange his old age with his one of his sons, and he tried with the older ones, but no one accepted. But Puru happily accepted the old age of the father. It's not a very easy thing to do. A young person accepting the old age and remaining, staying old for so many, years. So that's also another example of such a son, like that's Puru, the son of Yayati Maharaj. Any other that you can think of? Any other that you can think of? Any other sons very famous for following the instructions of the father very seriously? There's one very special case. It's not something that one should imitate, and that is who? Which son? We should never imitate that.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Parshurama.
Yes, very nice. Thank you. Yes, Parshuram. Parshuram, the father was, what's the name of the father? Does anyone remember?
Jamdagni Puru.
Jamdagni. He's one of the Saptarishis now. So Jamdagni, we know that his wife, what's the name of the wife?
Renuka Puru.
Yeah, Renuka. So Renuka went to get some water from the well, and then she got attracted to the Gandharvas. They got attracted. She got attracted to the beauty of the Gandharvas who had come from the sky, and then she took some time. She did not come back on time, for the water, because she needed the water for some spiritual activity. And then when she came back, he knew that she had some attraction towards those Gandharvas, and then immediately he asked all the sons, he asked one by one all the sons to kill the mother. Very, very, dangerous thing to do for anyone, of course. But why do you think the sons did not accept it? Because it's not who would want to kill the mother. So no one accepted it. And then Parsuram came. And then he said, kill your mother and also kill all the brothers who did not follow my instruction. What did Parsuram do? Lord Parsuram do with his Parsha?
He immediately complied with his father's instruction.
Yeah, he immediately followed the father's instructions and chopped all the brothers, and with his Parsha, with his, what do you call those things? With the chopper, the Parsha, and then also killed the mother. Why do you think Parshuram did that?
Parshuram knew that Jamdagni got ability to revive them again.
Yes, very nice. He knew that my father is so powerful that if I can please my father, by following his instructions, then I can also please my father to bring them back to life. He knew that. So, no one else can do that in this world. Of course, if someone is killed, that's it. You can't revive them. So, yes, he did that. And then the father said, you can ask for any benediction from me because I'm so pleased with you. And then what did he say?
Prabhuji, he asked for the life of his mother and other brothers. And also another request was that they will not be able to know it, what has happened, what he has done, and there will be no trace of any sign of that they were killed and they were chopped off and subsequently given life.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Yes. So he asked for those three benedictions. One is he wanted them to be revived. He wanted them to come back to their lives. So that was one, revive them. And number two is they should not remember that Parshuram had killed them. You know, if they remember, then what will happen? Then there will always be very, very, you know, they won't have that kind of relationship that they had, you know, before. So he will not have good relationship with the brothers or even the mother. They said they should not even remember, and then also they should not even have any marks on their body or on their head, that you know their head had been cut, because otherwise they will start inquiring, why do I have this mark? You know, so, and that's how, you know, and his father straight away followed that, and straight away Tathastu, and everyone actually they came back to their lives, and then they couldn't even know what had actually happened. So that's another example, very special example. So we have Ram and Parshuram, and we have Puru Maharaj following the orders of the father. And then, of course, these are you know, examples where people followed. And Puru Maharaj actually says, Puru says that one who actually knows the intentions of the father and does what he wants you to do, what he's intending, what his intentions are, knowing the manobhav, and doing it, then that's what kind of son?
Yeah,
Some or first class son.
That's a first class son. And then he says that the second class is the one who will do it when the father
Instructs him.
Yeah, when the father instructs him, and straight away he does it. That is the second class. First class will know, okay, my father wants this to be done. He won't be, you know, just by just seeing the father. Oh, yeah, I want my father would be happy if I do this. So they'll do it straight away. The second one will do it. Second class will do it after the father gives instruction, and third one will also do it, but third class. But you know, they might say, "Oh, why are you asking me to do this?" But they'll still do it. There's a third class, and the fourth class is
Will not comply with him.
with not comply. They're not putra, they're
Mutra.
mutra. Hare Krishna. So those are, he actually, Puru Maharaj actually mentions this. Puru actually says this, and Puru was the one who was given the kingdom by the father, although he was the youngest, and all the other brothers had to. He actually looked after all the older brothers. Puru was the youngest. He was made the king, and he gave the different parts of the kingdom to the other brothers to rule. So that's Puru Maharaj. Yes, Lord Ramachandra. Of course, Lord Ramachandra and Lord Parshuram are not ordinary personalities. So Lord is Lord. They're mentioned as the incarnations of the Lord. So, and then there's another one actually who also not only not actually, he was not given the instruction actually, but he willingly you know, he knew that the father is in so much of distress, and father's mind is not very stable because of some desire, and he knew, he came to know about the desire of the father, and he fulfilled the desire of the father. Who was this?
Bhishma Dev.
Yes, correct, very nice. Yes, thank you, Trishul Prabhu and Mataji. Yes, Pitama Bhishma. We know that he came to know that his father wants to get married to whom?
Satyavati.
Satyavati, correct. Satyavati. He wanted to get married to Satyavati, but there were too many conditions that the looked like the marriage will not take place because Bhishma was the eldest son, and Bhishma will get the kingdom. He will become the king. So that's why Satyavati's father did not want to give Satyavati's hand to Bhishma. Sorry, not Bhishma, Shantanu Maharaj. But when Bhishma came to know where the father is going every day, in which direction and where he went, he comes to know about the father's situation. Then he goes to Satyavati and to the father, and he takes a vow. He said, if you are concerned that I will take the kingdom, I will not actually accept the kingdom. I will always protect whoever the king is. I will always. What else was the promise? I will not take the kingdom, and also I will not have any
I'll not
descendants.
marry also.
I'll not marry. So which means because the question may be like you may not marry, you may get married, and you may not accept the kingdom, but your children may want to be the kings. He said, no, I'm not going to get married also. So he was living in the palace in the midst of all the beautiful women, but he was never attracted to any women. And he remained a brahmachari for the entire life just because of
His father.
his father. He just wanted to satisfy his father. So there is another, great personality who followed the father. So here, Prachetas Pitur Vakyam. Pracheta actually met Lord Shiva because of following father's instructions, and they were very, very pious. They were they just when the father said, you need to beget children, you need to they straight away went to perform austerities. And that was the system previously. Everyone who wanted to have children, they will first perform austerities. Why do you think austerities are important before marriage? And
So
of
that
course,
one can become an appropriate person to give instruction to his children as well, or
yes, so that he can give the right kind of instructions. Of course, yeah. He will know what is to be done and what is not to be done. He knows that what is right and what is not right, and he is more self-controlled. What else?
To secure good progeny.
Yeah, to have good progeny. Very nice. Good progeny. If you want to have good children, if you are qualified, then you will attract good souls. Good souls. You'll attract good souls. Correct. Yeah. Thank you, Padma. Anything else? The good children you'll have if you perform austerities. You will know what is right and what is not right, and you'll have self-control, and you will be able to. What is the goal of human life?
And they will be able to go to God, back to Godhead. He will be able to guide them also.
Yeah, you can deliver them.
Life.
Yeah, because you will take them towards the real goal of human life, and so you will be able to. A good father is one who's able to deliver his
children.
His children. That's a good father. A good king is one who is able to deliver the citizens. We know all these things, and also through his good behavior, he will be able to teach the good, all the good acharan to the children as well. Yad yad acharati shreshtas tattadevetara janah sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Very nice. So he will set right standards. No, but otherwise, if you don't perform austerities, then you may get attracted just to your wife, and you may be too attracted, and you may be too attached, and you may be too, and that will be lost for you as well, because then you you have to become a woman in the next life. So, and if you are too attached to the house and the belongings and the family, then there's no supreme destination for such people. So it's all lose situation. So now that's why they went to Disham Pratichim Prayayus. So where did they go? In which direction they went?
In the west.
Yeah. Pratichim. So that means the western. Western Disha means the direction. In that direction they actually went. And then they performed tapasya. They performed adrit chetasa. So they performed very, very severe austerities. They went to the western direction to perform severe austerities. He's actually matrimony saying how they met Lord Shiva. They went in the direction in which there was a lake, and it will be described later on, a very big lake. And from that lake, actually, Lord Shiva comes out, and that will be described a little bit later. So here, and we know that Lord Shiva will also give very nice instructions to the Prachetas. So we'll give very nice instructions. There's a very similar case in the scriptures. Someone else also following the instruction of the Father and also getting transcendental knowledge from Lord Shiva. Who's the example in the scriptures? Does anyone remember? Got the mercy of Lord Shiva, following the instruction of the Father, and was got association of Lord Shiva, and also got transcendental knowledge from Lord Shiva. Does anyone know? It is in the Bhagavatam. Can anyone recall any katha from the Bhagavatam? Someone who followed the instruction of the Father and actually got Lord Shiva's mercy and got transcendental knowledge.
Markandeya.
Markandeya. So Markandeya, of course, is the son of Mrikanda. So there's no instruction from Mrikanda to Markanda. Of course, Markandeya also got the blessing of Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu both. And and of course, he was able to see the illusory energy of the Lord. So another someone else. Yes. Yes.
Sukhdevamani?
Sukhdeva Goswami, not Sukhdeva Goswami. So the example is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam 9th canto. So this is about Nabhag. Has anyone heard of this? Nabhag. So there was one king whose name is Nabhag. You know, who's Nabhag? Who's Nabhag? Nabhag is one of the sons of Manu. We know that current Manu has got 10 sons. The eldest is Ikshwaku, and then there is also Nabhag, there's Nabhag, and Dishta, and Drishta, and Saryati, and Vasuman, and Prishadra, and all these are Narshi, and all these different names of these are the different 10 sons of our Manu, our current Manu. So the king, the Nabhag, was also a king. Nabhag became the king also. So Nabhag had a son whose name was Nabhag. What was the name of the son? Nabhag. So Nabhag had a son, Nabhag, who was very, very spiritually inclined, and he went to the ashram of the spiritual master. He went to the ashram of the spiritual master, and he studied there and studied with the guru. And his brothers, he had some brothers, and his brothers actually divided the wealth amongst themselves. Have you heard of this story? The brothers actually divided the wealth among themselves, And he later on he comes back to his kingdom and he says that he comes to know that they have divided the wealth, but he wants to know what does he get as his share from the father's property. So he asked, "What did you leave for me?" He asked the brothers. He was very, very humble, very truthful, and very obedient, very simple. So a very qualified person. His name is, what's the name? Son of Nabhag. So Manu
Nabhag.
Maharaj.
Abag.
Nabhag. So Manu Maharaj's son, Nabhag's son, Nabhag. And later on, a very great personality is born from him. What is the name of this great personality?
He is Ambarish Maharaj.
Ambarish Maharaj, very nice. Ambarish Maharaj, he becomes Ambarish Maharaj's father. So he's very, very qualified person, very, very qualified. In every way he's qualified. So now Nabhag, when he asked his brothers said, "We have distributed the wealth amongst ourselves, but we have left our father as your share." What did they give as his share?
The responsibility of his father.
Yeah, sorry?
The responsibility of his father to him.
Yeah. It's we're giving you father as your share. We have taken the father's wealth, but you take the father's. And when he heard this, he did not actually complain. He did not say anything. Very simple, very humble. And he just goes to the father. Father, I went to the brothers, and the brothers actually said, "You are my share. That they've given you to me as my share of the property." The father said, "Don't take this very seriously, my son. You have to actually, of course, you need the wealth to live. You need you need to look after your livelihood. So what you should do now, you should go and there is the descendants of Angira Muni, and they are performing a yajna. They are performing a yajna, but they will be performing a yajna and they'll be making some mistakes in the mantras. Every sixth day, they'll be having some problems. They get confused with the mantras. So what you do, you go and guide them. You help them to complete the yajna by chanting the correct mantra. And the father said, "You take this mantra and you give it to them so that they can complete the yajna." And straight away he went to the place where the yajna was performed by the descendants of Angira Muni. He guided them and they were very, very pleased. And the father had also said that they will give you, if the yajna is completed and it becomes successful, then they will all go to the Swargalok. They will go to the heavenly planets. And whatever wealth they have, because we know that when they used to perform the yajna, then everything will be made up of gold. So there is so much wealth, in a yajna. There will be a lot of wealth collected. And so said, they will give you all the wealth after the yajna, because they'll all go to the Swargalok, all the sages. And he followed the father's instruction very seriously, and father gave the mantra. He went, and then he saw that they were all performing yajna, and then they were struggling. They did not know the mantra. They're making mistakes, and that's why the yajna was not successful. But he goes and helps them, and the yajna becomes complete. And when they were all going to the Swargalok, they gave everything to Nabhag. They gave all the wealth to Nabhag when they were leaving. They were going to the Swargaloka. And then the Nabhag Maharaj actually takes all the wealth. He's not very attracted to all those things. He's very, very renounced actually. He when he was getting ready to take all the wealth with him, then another personality comes and stops him. No, this is my property. You can't take this. It is my property. He was a dark complexion, person with dark complexion. He has assumed some other form, but he is actually someone else. He said, "This is my property. It's not yours." And then he doesn't fight with him. He say, and then that personality says, "You can go and ask your father. We can go and ask your father. Okay, you can go and ask your father that this is actually not yours. It's mine." And who was that? Who was that person?
Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva, correct, yeah. So yes, and then he goes to the father. Nabha goes to the father, Nabha Maharaj. Of course, he's no longer the king at that time. So he goes to the father and says, this person has the yajna was completed, was successful, but there's someone else who I took all the wealth, but someone else is claiming the wealth to be his. The father said, yes, the wealth actually doesn't belong to you. It actually belongs to Lord Shiva. In the Dakshi Yajna, all the Brahmanas gave all the wealth to Lord Shiva, so it belongs to Lord Shiva. Yes, you go and say that it doesn't belong to me, it belongs to you. So truthful. No attraction to the wealth. He's just following the father's orders. He goes and says to that personality was Lord Shiva, yes, it's whatever you are saying is true. My father has endorsed it. Yes, it belongs to you, not to me. And Lord Shiva became so pleased with him that he says that I'm going to give you transcendental knowledge. I'm going to give you the knowledge. And Lord Shiva gave him transcendental knowledge, just like we have this Rudra Gita. Who's giving the Rudra Gita? To whom? Yes? Who's speaking? Prachetas got it? Right? Just like Prachetas were instructed, they got transcendental knowledge from Lord Shiva, which is called Rudra Gita. And so this Nabhag, he got transcendental knowledge. And after that, Lord Shiva says, you also take this
Wealth with you.
Wealth. So you also take this wealth. So he takes the wealth, he goes home. So who is in a better position? Those brothers who had taken father's property, or another brother who was given the father? Who was in a better position?
Who was given the father?
Yeah, who was given the father?
Nabha.
So he took the father, and he happily accepted the father and went to the father that you are my property. And the father said, but you don't take it very seriously. Go and get some wealth, so for your livelihood. And then father actually made all the arrangements. So we can see how one can he actually, through following the father's instruction, he was able to meet Lord Shiva, and he was able to get transcendental knowledge from Lord Shiva. Because some people will only get material things from Lord Shiva, but actual thing Lord Shiva can give is
transcendental knowledge.
Transcendental knowledge. He can give Krishna Bhakti, but people like Vrikasur is not interested in all these things. They just want some benediction. Ravan just wants some benediction. He's not interested. Banasur doesn't want to get some knowledge from Shiva, Lord Shiva, and they just want something material. But the real thing that Lord Shiva can give is, he can give bhakti as well, because he's the topmost
devotee of the
Vaishnava. He's the topmost Vaishnava. So in this verse, we can see how he took the words of the father very seriously, The Prachetas took the words of Father very seriously, and they go to the forest to perform austerities. That's how, on the way, they get to meet Lord Shiva. Because the question is, how did they meet? Why did they meet? How did they please Lord Shiva? How were they instructed? So these are the questions of Vidur, and Maitreya Muni starts answering the questions of Vidura, and then later on, of course, we'll see wonderful instructions of Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, all the devotees. Any questions or comments? You've got 5 minutes. About 5 minutes.
Hare Krishna Guru, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you so much for your nice class. It's so informative. I was just listening. So much information, so nicely explained. To understand the real impact of the Father's instruction is so important. So we always neglect the superior's instruction. But if we follow the superior instruction, what happens ultimately? And through your example, you showed how Lord Shiva is being highlighted as the one of the best guru in this connection. So he is actually the giver of the transcendental knowledge, and we don't understand the impact. But this text and your explanation is very clearly explained. Thank you so much for enlightening, sir.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Anyone else wants to anything that you have learned, or anything that you want to add to what we have discussed? What are some of the things that you learned today? Anything that you learned, an important lesson that you learned?
Prabhuji, also you have instructed, through this class we have also understood that the Father is also, when qualified, he can give deliverance to his children, because one who is aware of the transcendental knowledge, he can give direction to others, to his subordinates or juniors.
Yes, very nice. Yeah, Father being qualified and Father being on that platform, he can guide the children in the right direction. Yeah, very nice. Haribol. Yes.
How this parampara is maintained. So this is how the parampara is carried on.
Yes, this is how you give good instructions to your children, and that they give good instructions to
the next.
That their children, and then it continues. That this is also another type of parampara. One is Guru parampara, and this is also parampara you're getting from your Pitra parampara, we can say. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, anyone else? Okay, thank you so much, all the devotees. Shri Radha Girdhari Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Gaunitaya Bhagwan ki jai, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Go, Prabhu.
His Grace Madhav Govind Prabhu ki jai.
Prabhu ki jai. Samavida Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a nice class.
Hare Krishna.
Vancha kalpatarubhrasya kripa sindhubhyo putitanam pavunebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo koti vaishnavebhyo ki jai. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.